I'm sorry, Ransom. Patrick's the first, and then I'm the second, and then he's the third. I think I told you wrong.
I had it committed to memory.
Sorry,
for-
I know.
For a minute and a half.
You're now screaming.
Glad you retold me. I still don't remember.
Do we need another microphone? Or are we gonna share?
I don't,
Okay.
we're streaming now.
What time? Okay. All right, I'll call the meeting to order. Let's, this is February, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the minutes and it says February 10th. May 12th, 2025 meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission for Republic. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Alexander,
Here.
Commissioner DeBrava, Commissioner Ellis,
Here?
Commissioner Means, Commissioner Hyder,
Here.
Commissioner Mann,
Here.
Commissioner Bridges, Commissioner Copeland.
Here.
Good, thank you, Patrick. Let's go to the agenda. Everybody have the agenda in front of them, and are there any changes to the agenda that anyone proposes? If not, somebody give me a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Copeland,
Aye.
Commissioner Mann,
Aye.
Commissioner Hyder,
Aye.
Commissioner Ellis,
Aye.
Commissioner Alexander.
Aye.
All right, next item of business is the approval of the minutes for February 10th, 2025. Any changes to these minutes that anyone wishes to propose? If not, somebody make a motion.
Motion to approve?
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Hyder,
Aye.
Commissioner Ellis,
Aye.
Commissioner Alexander,
Aye.
Commissioner Copeland,
Aye.
Commissioner Mann.
Aye.
Okay, it looks like we have three public hearings tonight. And we need the meeting procedures read. Patrick?
All right. The Planning and Zoning Commission holds public hearings as required by law and provides recommendations to City Council on all matters relating to land use planning, zoning, and the subdivision of land. Any person who has an interest in the subject matter of a hearing will have the opportunity to provide testimony and present evidence to the Planning and Zoning Commission during the public hearing. Speakers are required to conduct themselves in an orderly and respectful manner. Disruptive behavior, including applause, yelling, speaking out of turn, or other inappropriate behaviors, will not be tolerated. Additionally, the following applies to any person addressing the commission. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes unless authorized additional time by the chairperson. Speakers must speak at the lectern unless previous arrangements have been made by the chairperson. Speakers must legibly print their name and address on the sign-in sheet at the lectern prior to speaking. Speakers must begin by stating their name and address, and speakers should speak clearly and into the microphone. The chairperson will announce the subject of the hearing, followed by a report from staff. The chairperson will then open the public hearing to the applicant, followed by those in favor of the application and those opposed to the application. The chairperson will close the public hearing. During this time, the commission will discuss amongst themselves. The public may not address the commission after the close of the public hearing unless requested by the chairperson. The Planning and Zoning Commission shall base their recommendation and/or decision on information and evidence presented during the public hearing. This decision, if required by the application, will be forwarded in writing to City Council for further consideration.
Thank you, Patrick. The first public hearing is ORD 25-002, a public hearing and possible vote to recommend the approval of amendments to Chapter 420 flood damage prevention. Patrick?
Thank you again. This is in consideration to improve in an ordinance amending Chapter 420 flood damage prevention to incorporate new regulations mandated by FEMA and SEMA for participation in the FIRM program. The federal and state emergency management agencies, FEMA and SEMA, have recently updated flood insurance rate maps, or also known as FIRM, panels that are within the jurisdiction of the City of Republic. In addition to the updated firms, these agencies have made changes to the floodplain management regulations designed to supplement and regulate such flood maps. The changes include the following. So new definitions to give these regulations outlined in this chapter its most reasonable application. Additions of provisions that adds additional justifications for the approval of a variance for registered historic places. And it also requires the local jurisdiction to keep a record of all variances and the justification for allowing such variances. Lastly, it also strengthens the penalty section 420.070 for agencies that enforce and those who violate the regulations of this chapter. The ordinance language provided to the city by FEMA and SEMA is identical to the city's currently adopted flood damage prevention chapter back in 2010, apart from the aforementioned changes above. Adoption of this ordinance by September 19th, 2025 is a requirement for participation in the FIRM program. Based on this information, staff recommends the approval of the referenced amendments.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any discussion on this? Happy with it? Unhappy with it? Want to change it? Somebody want to make a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Got it two different ways. There we go. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Ellis,
Aye.
Commissioner Alexander,
Aye.
Commissioner Copeland,
Aye.
Commissioner Mann,
Aye.
Commissioner Hyder.
Aye.
Second item of, second public hearing, we'll close that. I guess I should have closed it before we wrote it, but that's all right. Second public hearing is rezone. I've screwed up, okay. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak in favor or opposed to the ordinance change in ordinance 25-002? Seeing no one, I will close that hearing, and now we have voted. I don't think we need to revote. Is everybody good with their vote? Okay. Go to second public hearing, rezone number 25-002, public hearing and possible vote to recommend the approval of an application to change the zoning classification of approximately 9.9 acres located at 4297 South Wilsons Creek Boulevard from agricultural to general commercial. Chris?
Good evening, Chris Tabor, Principal Planner. The City of Republic has applied to change the zoning classification of approximately 9.9 acres of property located at 4297 South Wilsons Creek Boulevard from agricultural, AG, to general commercial, C3. The city intends to utilize this land in the near future for infrastructure improvements to serve municipal facilities at 4221 South Wilsons Creek Boulevard, or the building that we're in today. The subject property was recently annexed into the city as two parcels on May 3rd, 2025, and was subsequently will be subsequently combined into one lot through the minor subdivision process. The following paragraphs contain a brief analysis of site conditions as well as the relationship of the proposal to the adopted plans of the city. The city's comprehensive plan generally encourages the expansion of commercial development through proactive rezoning of land at appropriate locations. Appropriate locations are described generally throughout the plan with regard to the relationship of land at particular locations to infrastructure capable of supporting various intensities and densities of uses. The 2021 Comprehensive Plan and Land Use Plan identifies land use goals and objectives relating to commercial development, including the following. Goal, coordination with infrastructure. Objective 1, support new development that is well connected to the existing community. The city's development of the parcel aligns with the planned future improvements along the corridor. Objective 2, to promote development aligning with current adopted plans of the city. The intensity of uses should match the capacity of infrastructure to serve the use. The city's development of the parcel will facilitate future development along the corridor through planned expansions of the city's municipal water system. The general trend of development in the vicinity of the subject property has been the development of Republic High School and Backwoods Golf during the last several years, along with the city's own builds facility. The subject property is surrounded by general commercial C3 properties to the north, medium-density single-family residential R1M property to the south, Greene County agricultural zone property to the west, and agricultural AG property to the east, across the street at Republic High School. The land uses permitted in the general commercial C3 zoning district relative to the intended use include heavy and civil engineering construction services. The parcel is in proximity to a 12-inch water main along the west side of Wilsons Creek Boulevard. The city will extend the water main as necessary to serve the property and to facilitate growth southward. The parcel will be served by an existing gravitary sanitary sewer main running along the property's western boundary line. The sanitary sewer will flow to the McElhaney Lift Station and to the Schuler Creek Lift Station and finally to the wastewater treatment facility. The city's water system, lift stations, and wastewater treatment facility currently have the capacity to serve the intended use. A traffic impact study was not required as the city has been consistently working with MoDOT and the Ozarks Transportation Organization, or OTO, for planned improvements along this corridor. At this time, there is no plan to create a new access to Wilsons Creek Boulevard from this subject parcel. The subject does contain a special flood hazard area. The subject parcel does not contain any identified sinkholes. Staff considers the proposed zoning map amendment or rezoning to be generally consistent with the goals and objectives of the comprehensive plan, consistent with the trend of development in the vicinity of the site, compatible with surrounding land uses, and able to adequately be served by municipal facilities. Based upon this analysis performed without the benefit of evidence and testimony of a public hearing, staff recommends the approval of this application.
Thank you. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak in favor of this proposed change? Not seeing anyone. Is there anyone here who is opposed to this change and wishes to come forward and speak? Not seeing anyone. I will close the hearing. Any discussion? Seems pretty straightforward to me, but anybody want to make a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Ellis,
Aye.
Commissioner Copeland,
Aye.
Commissioner Hyder,
Aye.
Commissioner Alexander,
Aye.
Commissioner Mann.
Aye.
Thank you. We'll move to our third public hearing, rezone 25-003, public hearing and possible vote to recommend the approval of an application to change the zoning classification of approximately 1.69 acres located at the 7700 block of West Farm Road 174 from local commercial C1 to multifamily residential. Is this Patrick again?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Dan Cat Properties LLC has applied to change the zoning classification of approximately 1.69 acres of property located at the 7700 block of West Farm Road 174 from local commercial C1 to multifamily residential R3. The property subject to this rezoning application is a total of approximately 8.04 acres of vacant land, and the applicant is requesting a rezone of the front 1.69 acres. The other 6.35 acres of land is currently zoned multifamily residential R3. The result of an approved rezone would create a unified zone property of multifamily residential R3. The following paragraphs contain a brief analysis of present site condition as well as the proposal's relationship to the adopted plans of the city. The city's comprehensive plan generally encourages the expansion of residential and commercial development through proactive rezoning of land at appropriate locations. Appropriate locations are described generally throughout the plan with regard to the relationship of land at particular locations to infrastructure capable of supporting various intensities and density of uses. This application support market conditions to develop a greater variety of residential and commercial options by supporting a variety of housing developments and styles to ensure a range of options are available. It also supports new development that is well connected to the existing community by encouraging development that improves and expands upon existing infrastructure, and it promotes development aligning with current adopted plans of the city. Lastly, it recognizes potential infill sites as opportunities for development while mitigating impacts to adjacent established properties by supporting the development of vacant parcels as opportunities for densification that is harmonious with the surrounding development. The rezone of this parcel is consistent with the city's adopted plans. The subject property is adjacent to the following zoning districts: multifamily R3 to the north, two-family residential to the east, Oak Court Plan Development District to the south across Farm Road 174, and General Commercial C2 zoning to the west. The multifamily residential R3 zoning district is intended to accommodate high-density residential development on properties with direct access to arterial or collector streets. The general land uses and zoning of the area are commercial and multifamily residential in nature, and such a rezone would be compatible and harmonious with adjacent properties. Development of the property will require connecting to existing municipal water and sewer mains located near the site. One 8-inch water main is accessible to the subject property at the southeast corner of the property along Farm Road 174. In addition, gravity sewer mains are located near the subject property with a 10-inch sewer main on the other side of Farm Road 174. Effluent would travel through the gravity lines to the Schuler Creek lift station before being pumped to the wastewater treatment facility. The water system, lift station, and wastewater treatment facility currently have capacity to serve the intended use. The subject parcel is accessible from Farm Road 174. A traffic impact study was not required for the rezone application since the proposed rezone would create a non-split zone parcel. The need for a traffic impact study may be required at the time of development depending on the scope of density and design of a multifamily development. The subject parcel does not contain any special flood hazard areas, nor does it contain any identified sinkholes. Staff considers the proposed zoning map to be generally consistent with the goals and objectives of the comp plan, consistent with the trend of development in the vicinity of the site, compatible with the surrounding land uses, and able to be adequately served by municipal facilities. Based upon this analysis, performed without the benefit of evidence and testimony of a public hearing, staff recommends approval of this application.
Thank you, Patrick. Is there anyone here who wishes to come forward and speak in favor of this recommendation to approve or not the application?
I believe the applicant is actually with us tonight.
Okay,
Just so
sorry.
you know, they're in the back there. If there is any questions there, I don't believe they wish to speak, but they did want their presence to be known.
Do you wish to speak? There's no requirement, one way or another. Okay, thank you. Let's move to anyone who's not in favor of this application. If you want to come forward and speak to us. Seeing no one moving forward, I will close this hearing and we'll go to discussion. Any changes, alterations, suggestions, concerns, questions? Have a satisfied group tonight. Okay.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Alexander?
Aye.
Commissioner Ellis?
Aye.
Commissioner Copeland?
Aye.
Commissioner Hyder?
Aye.
Commissioner Mann?
Aye.
Okay, we move on the agenda to citizen participation. The time when anyone in the audience wishes to come forward and speak to us about a matter, preferably, and not about something that's just been in one of our public hearings. Is there anyone here that wishes to come forward and share? I can't toss anyone forward, but so we'll go on past that. Community Development Department update.
So I do want to go ahead and announce a couple of things. One, we have an application out for a P and Z commissioner. Mr. Bridges has let us know that he will not be able to continue his term after it expires in July. So if you know anybody who would like to apply for that, who would be appropriate for the position, please send them our way. Applications are on the city's website. Also, I did want to let everyone know that the trail is almost completed. The city's new Schuler Creek Trail connecting to the Wilsons Creek Battlefield. So if you go down, you can see that. That'll be open here in the next 3 weeks.
Provided it doesn't rain the entire time between now and then. Okay, thank you, Chris. Anything else that you had? Okay, I guess I'd take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All right. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Hyder,
Aye.
Commissioner Alexander,
Aye.
Commissioner Mann,
Aye.
Commissioner Copeland,
Aye.
Commissioner Ellis.
Aye. Thank you.